I was curious to ask about how do you value music in your films, and what's your process working with composer Howard Shore?
Is that a two-type question? What was the first part?
Yeah, what's the how you value music in your films? What's the role of music from your point
What's the
of
role
view?
of music
And how you work with
and your
your
relationship
composer?
with Howard Shore?
Yeah. Well, Howard is also from Toronto, Canada, and we knew each other growing up there. I was quite a bit older than Howard, but we knew each other, and we have mutual friends. And our careers sort of worked together. I mean, The Brood was only the second film that he wrote music for, and The Brood was the first movie I did that had original music. Before that, Shivers and Rabid, we couldn't afford original music, so we used what they call drop needle music. That is, you can buy music that's already created and sort of edited for your film and so on. And that's sort of Shivers and Rabid, that's where the music came from. So The Brood was the first original score for me, and it was Howard's second score. And it was because he had done one movie score already, because he was Canadian, because I knew him, and we had a rapport. And it's a very interesting thing, because music is, you can't really, it's very difficult to talk about it, to be articulate about it. It's very emotional, of course, and it has many associations for people that are very hard to control. For some people, a rock and roll song is very sad because it reminds them of the girlfriend that they lost, and for other people it's very happy because it reminds them of the girlfriend they married. So you can't really control all of the aspects of film, music, and so you have to have a real rapport with the person who's composing the music for your movie, and also they have to have a real rapport with the movie that you've made. And with Howard, I just found it really. I mean, we don't talk a lot about the music, and when we do, it's rather abstract, as you might imagine. And sometimes it's odd. Like for example, Naked Lunch. We said, okay, this is set in the 1950s in America. What kind of music would William Burroughs have listened to? And it turned out that Burroughs wasn't really very interested in music. He doesn't reference it or think about it very much. So we thought, well, these characters probably should be listening to jazz, even though Burroughs did not listen to jazz. And then I said, when I was in Copenhagen in 1965, living there for a year, I went to a concert of Ornette Coleman, who was this brilliant American jazz musician. And because of the Vietnam War, many, many Americans and many American musicians left America and ended up in Scandinavia and various countries because they didn't want to be drafted and be sent to Vietnam. And so I saw Ornette Coleman, and I said, his music, which is very anarchistic, seems really right for Naked Lunch. And Howard said, well, I know Ornette very well. Why don't we ask him? And that's how it started. Howard knows everybody in the music world. And he has a really fine sensibility in terms of what works for the movie. From opera to, he wrote an opera for my movie based on my movie of The Fly, which I directed in Paris. It's the only time I've ever directed theater, was an opera. So we have a really, really intimate, intricate relationship. And basically the only movie that he didn't do the music for was The Dead Zone. And that was because Dino De Laurentiis had a music producer working for him who really had his own favorite and manipulated things to the point where they couldn't make a deal with Howard. And that's why he didn't end up doing the music for The Dead Zone, and Michael Nyman did. He did a very beautiful score, I have to say, but it was the only time I had to work with Howard. So I don't know if that really is an answer to your question, but it is it's a very intimate relationship if you have, you know. I mean, I know that it's a more European way of working. In Los Angeles, I think even with the cameramen, you know, cinematographers, you get the guy who won the Oscar last year. You know, you get the guy who's hot. Whereas in Europe, the idea is that you work with the same people over and over again, and you develop a deep relationship with them. Your cameraman, your production designer, and my orientation was always more towards European filmmaking in that sense, in terms of the people that I work with.